Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly Tongren session. And let me just change this a little bit. That's perfect. All right. So let's begin right away. We do a three-part process. Okay, so we have a problem with that. Okay, but we are, let me just say hello to everyone. For people, my name is Joseph Lucier. Welcome, especially for new people that are here. Appreciate your time. This is a Tongren session, which is a distance healing technique used all over the world, which is giving the opportunity for people that do healing of any kind, especially Tongren, to get a little boost once a week. Healing works in a gentle nudge, and weekly boost sessions like this will greatly help. So Instagram is having a couple of issues at the moment, but we'll get that going, telling all of our followers. So let's begin right away. These are the tools for Tongren. We tap, basically it's a map, a way we can focus on doing certain things on very targeted blockages. And we focus on a three-part process to give the body a complete tune-up. Step 1, open a blockage. Step 2. And our main focus is blood flow and nerve flow. So we do blood flow to the brain in our three-part process that we teach. And let us know if you're doing better, worse, no change. And if there's anything different we can do to support you. And let me know on Instagram if that's actually working. It seems poor connection, reconnecting. In fact, this may just be unhappy. So let's try it again. Three, two, one for Instagram. So let's do this for people that are interested. You go to my website page, anusarwellness.com, and you put in a request. So let's begin. For Gartor, edema in lower legs. It looks like Instagram has not stabilized. Nearsighted with astigmatism. There are eye exercises on the internet. You look up to the left, down to the right, up to the right, down to the left, over to the left, over to the right, up and down. Really pushing. I know when I do it, and I haven't done it in a while, it is quite a strain. These are muscles. Astigmatism, as I have myself, is the same. Blood flow to the brain. Command point to the brain. Ouch point for the eyes. Astigmatism. And Instagram does not seem working. Blood flow to the brain, brain command points. brain stem. So C3 for the eyes. When we say C3, that's the nerves going to the eyes to complete the brain wound connection. And also bronchitis, T3. So a hydrocholator would be my recommendation for bronchitis. T1 to T8, also working for ALS, for Edna, and your husband's thyroid nodules. And welcome to Instagram, but it seems to be poor connection. I don't know why. I keep trying. Brain for the ALS, and for the eyes, astigmatism, blood flow, facial artery, edema. So spleen, we'll do a complete lymph tune-up for edema. 6-part process. Sky window for the edema. And bronchitis, CV17, but let's continue the lymph tune-up for Momashari and others. Sky window, axillary lymph, inguinal lymph. Welcome from Canada. So I'm not sure if you can see me on Instagram. Seems to be a real issue there. Working out. Again, T1 to T8 for persistent infection in right eye. I would look for homeopathic or things that I've used for my eyes. Here we go. Simile Sun, if it's still available, or other homeopathic eye drops. And the ouch point on the right eye for Gartor. For ALS, brachial plexus for the arms, lumbosacral plexus for the legs. Oh, we have a storm here. I forgot. We have a nor'easter, we call it. So we have a big storm outside. That's probably causing the problem. Respiratory weakness. Let's do the oxygen and lung protocol. Sky window. And CV17, a laser on CV17 is a really good option. So MS. T1 to T8. So C3, 4, and 5 for vocal cords. C6, C7, thyroid, parathyroid for the husband. So hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid. So avoid fluoridated water and white flowers especially, and add in sea vegetables. Nobody on Instagram, Facebook yet. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Tracy. So let's work the granddaughter's heart, growth hormone, T1 to T8. T5 for the heart. Rickets, osteoporosis, vitamin C, silica, vitamin D, vitamin K2. Liquid silica, especially from Europe, developed for maximum absorption. Kidneys are for the bones as well. L2. And the best thing for the hormones is watching the sunrise sunlight. T1 for the bones, T1 to T8 for the immune system. T1 for the perfect blood, lymph T3, and T7 spleen. Move back a little bit, make sure people can see me. T1 to T8. Does everybody here know about our online Tongren community? And L2 for the kidneys. GV20 for the hormones and pituitary, which will also help to sleep. But again, sunrise sunlight will regulate your sleep. That's what the sunrise sunlight does to our bodies. It regulates our sleep. So let's take a quick look. So let's work for Catherine. Brain structures. Okay. Yep. Command points of the brain. Magnesium. In absentia, a small coastal village in Italy. Okay, so let's continue. Happy Mama and Laura. Must be the storm. What's going on with Instagram? Blood flow to the brain. Tap for perfect blood, which should be cranial sacral fluid, T1. Command points of the brain for Catherine. We have Quirky Local, Gartor, Blue Sky, Open Mind, Radiant Pioneer, Collected Legend, Edna, Incredible Stranger, Passionate Civilian, and Great Being, to name a few. T1 for the bones, GB39 for the bones, and the bone marrow, T1. T3 for the lymph, T7 for the lymph. TB13 right side for calm, worry-free mind. And GV20, 22, balanced hormones and abundance would be the in-tongue connection to the internal abundance of our soul. In-tongue, third eye area. And welcome, Rachel. I've been thinking about raising the body temperature. I know you do it up to an hour. I think we should increase the temperature and increase the time. Why not? blood flow to the brain command points, and brain stem command points. And we'll work with interesting creation and blue sky. So Chris D, endometrial, peritoneal, lung, and liver. Let's work our way down. So T3 for the lungs. Small airway disease, T1 to T4, especially T2 and T3. GV17 for blood pressure, low protein, microbiome. So I was watching this special today. Everything psychological is related to the gut and the microbiome. And that makes sense. The gut-brain axis. Instagram is out for the count. Also, lung 1, lung 2 for the airways. CV17 for the airways, and then CV4 peritoneum and endometrial areas. And especially lumbar 1 to 5. Let me look at something. Here, yep. So 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3. L1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3 for the peritoneum, endometrial areas. T9 for the liver, especially. So I started to reach out to more people, Rachel, for input. And let's go grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1. Let's do some extra lung for Rachel. Lung 1, lung 2. CV17. the entire lung meridian. Liver 3 and kidney 1. And let's look at all of our Facebook friends. Renee Simmons. Oh good, YouTube is working. It's just my phone, which is, we're in a storm here. Thank you for checking in, Renee. Appreciate it. YouTube is working. So we have 2 people with prostate issues. I have a 2-part herbal Native American First Nations process for that. There are specific herbs that are beneficial for the prostate: pygeum, saw palmetto, pumpkin seeds, or zinc. Nettles is a good one. Those are the most common elements in most prostate formulas. The one that I use myself, called Crystal Star Prostate Care or Prostate Support. So BPH is a reduction of an enzyme called LCP1, which is a cleans up sludge in the prostate. So detoxing, cleansing, hydration can also support swollen prostate or prostate cancer. But let's do the cancer protocol of oxygen. Hypothalamus, then scar window for phrenic nerve, lung 1, lung 2 for oxygen, CV17. CV4, big time. Laser if you have it on for the prostate, for both of you. Diabetes for Terry. If it's type 2 diabetes, you can reverse it through diet. And Tongren. So cancer, anemia, kidney function, so bones. Kidneys, L2. And L1, 2, and 3 for the ovarian area for Emily. L3 specifically for the prostate. Rachel 328, how are you doing? I understand grief. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the passing of my mom today. So we tap in her honor. 1 year ago today. Amazing how the time goes. And I'll work on grief, depression, anxiety, fertility, and weight loss for you and Rachel 3280. Then great being. Blood flow to the brain. Lux Local, good to see you. I think the picture is going in and out on Instagram. Is that correct? Command points of the brain. GB13, right side for grief. Depression. As I was saying, I watched a convincing. I wrote a book on depression and identified the relationship with the microbiome years ago, and it seems to be becoming more prominent an idea. GB13 right side for grief, depression, anxiety, but especially the lungs for grief. Okay. Fertility. GV20, 22, hypothalamus, pituitary, L3. Again, for fertility, sun exposure on the belly. That will also help with weight loss. Good to see you, Rachel. Hope you're getting through everything okay. Sylvie Mori. Hello. T1 and T8, anti-inflammation. Hashimoto, C6, C7, T3, C3 for the eyes. Charge the batteries. The best way to charge the batteries is to get out in the sun. The sun hits the water, 70% of our water, 99% of all molecules in our body are water, and you can transform them, create an easy zone charge battery of the entire body. Charge the batteries. CV4, charge the batteries. Also good for pregnant, for the baby, healthy mommy, healthy delivery, and pregnancy. T1, T8. L3 also for fertility. CV4 for fertility. There you go for Joanna, for your daughter. And what's your daughter's name? So for Sunny Gem, if you text or email, we can review protocols for more aggressively removing detox from mold, smoke, and chemicals. Because if you're not using binders, you're not using minerals, it's going to take a really long time to get better. Not sure what you're doing for it, but there are some other things you can do as well. And Happy Mama, thank you so much for tapping for my painful right hip. Last week, it was 90% better by the evening. Quite a remarkable recovery. So how's the hip doing? Let's do the remaining 10%. Six for 2 hours. That is a long time. Wow. But these are special times. I would go to 6.5 for 2 hours. Absolutely. Make sure you're covered with a space blanket or a regular blanket. All right, let's continue. Right shoulder pain. I hear you. If you saw the x-ray of my shoulder, you would wonder how I even have a right arm. It was crushed. Muscles and tendons, we didn't want to miss that. BL9. Command points of the brain. And I'm wondering if you should have beet juice before you do the 2 hours. Yeah, that's a good option. Or breath work. So let's work on that hip again. But pain and tendons, we don't want to forget that. Right shoulder ouch point. SI14 for the shoulders. Lumbosacral plexus for the shoulders. Right shoulder ouch point. And let's take a quick look to see if there's any texts coming in. All right. Where am I? Okay, there we are. So let's tap again for lung health for Rachel. And everyone with lungs, let's do it 3 times. Let's do extra, extra. Lung 1, lung 2. I think we have 2 Rachels. Okay, let's do it. Working on the lungs, lung 1, lung 2, CV17. T3. T1 to T8 detox from mold. Yes, beet juice before the biomat, or whatever you think from your clinical background to increase vasodilation. Nitric oxide. Alternate nose breathing. T1, T8, mold, smoke and chemicals, sinus and lung infections. And Rachel, have you tried the hydrocollator before? I also reached out to another herbal company for ideas. And as soon as they get back to me, I will follow up with that, along with Ning. A hydrocollator I used successfully on multiple times to eliminate bronchitis. That's why I recommend it. But you can know from a deeper understanding of your technical background more than I about its benefits. But on many occasions, I used to have a pattern of seasonal bronchitis, the Chinese medicine seasonal change of the weakened lungs in the fall. Every fall for a few years, I would get bronchitis and take herbs and all kinds of things, but sometimes I didn't have to take any herbs. I would just use the hydrocollator because of that warm heat. So think of the logic in terms of, would that make things worse or better? It really, I think I was on the verge of pneumonia, where I basically had a brick on my chest from the tightness, and the hydrocollator melted it away. I will find out the one that they have, that Therese and Jay have. So what do you think of the science of that idea of intense heat on the chest. Moist heat. It worked for me many times. My naturopath. I got bronchitis, diagnosed with bronchitis. And Sunny Gem, she says, I'm taking several binders daily. Glucomannan, Pectazole, charcoal, and clay. Perfect. Yep, I would take a bath with that. That's for the mold and the heavy metals. Yeah, I think you want to sweat more. You can do like an oximeter with temperature, right? Would that be able to give you a gauge of your temperature? Of course, a thermometer in your armpit. And I think we have more for Eager Habit. Let's see. We skipped a couple, so let's go back. Painful right hip. Let's do that. Then more lung health. Blood flow, nerve flow to the hip. T7 blood flow. Lumbosacral plexus for the hip. Ouch points for the right hip. CV4 also to release pressure and tension in that whole area. So when you do the mat, the biomat, are you always face up? Yep, the Instagram video is hammered probably because of the storm. We have a storm right over there. Tongren Station doesn't have a video, so let me make a note. So Tongren Station is supposed to broadcast us, or let me see. Make a note so I get this perfect for you, Sylvie. And Tongren Station. So quick question, Sylvie. You can usually see us when you go to Tongren Station for a live video. Is that correct? If you let me know, that would be really helpful. I appreciate it. Lung 1, lung 2, more for the lungs, and CV17. T3 for the lungs also. So if people feel heat, warmth, or tingling, let me know. If you have steam coming out of your fingers, that would also be good to share with the group. And let me just go back one more time to my text. The description for Catherine. Brain structures, cramping in calves. Okay, so we want to do some more of that. Okay, T1 to T8. Magnesium chloride, magnesium oil is one of the best things for the calves, or even castor oil. Deep despair, so the microbiome, and GP13. Grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And for eager habitant, inflammation overall, joints, brain, memory. Fermented turmeric with black pepper comes to mind right away, and berberine. Maybe it's barberry. Inflammation, T1 to T8. And welcome, Zio. Lauren Fazio. First time here, Lauren. No, I don't think so. We've met before. Sorry, Instagram is kind of broken at the moment. Must be because of the storm. And what is the glucomannan specifically for? For binding. Is that for urinary tract? Pectosol is an excellent option. Word retrieval, GBs. Broca and Wernicke areas of the brain. Distraction and tiredness. Definitely fermented foods. So for tiredness, check your copper and iron. GB13 left side, right side for the brain. So I do recommend a hydrocollator, yes. I believe heat of some kind or light is one of a good option. And Collected Buddy is tapping for the hip as well and sending you lots of healing chi. Collected Buddy, yes. Working together, great. Yes, I did liver health and deep despair. Let's do it again. We'll do some T9, deep despair, microbiome, and GB13 right side. See you, Rachel. Oop, I'm too late. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. Thank you, Collected Buddy. Deep Despair. CV4 for Sunny Gem. CV4 also good for the liver. Those binders are good too. What kind of clay do you use? Yeah, berberine. So to up the game on turmeric, get fermented turmeric with black pepper. I think Dr. McCullough has some. So fermented turmeric with black pepper and berberine. Docs will order it. They work for you. So it says here, how do you ask to get copper checked? Docs won't order it. They work for you. In order to work on energy in the body, you need oxygen. In order to have oxygen managed in the body, you need copper and something called ceruloplasmin as well. They can do it. It costs them nothing. It's from the same blood. They can do copper. And the 4 main inflammation markers should also be done. So I'm curious, here people, are you watching my new blogs and articles? Gallbladder 13. So GB13, gallbladder 13. So I should say it spelled out. Good point, Renee. Gallbladder 13, CV4, and the microbiome, T11, T12, L4, L5. So lots of fermented foods. And let's work on the ouch point of the calves for Catherine. I think I figured out why we're not on Tongren Station, because we're not broadcasting from here to there. Okay, so grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1. So it says here ceruloplasmin levels for copper with cod liver oil, magnesium cure. So there's also, what's the other book I have? The Copper Cure, an entire book on copper. So yeah, it's about copper, ceruloplasmin, iron. That's what I was thinking of, iron. Because you can have a lot of iron, but if you don't have copper, then the iron is useless. And the iron is used for the hemoglobin to release oxygen to increase energy. So tell the doctors to order it anyway. So the ceruloplasmin, cod liver oil, magnesium cure, your fatigue book. Morley Robbins. I think that's the same person. Yeah. That's it. Same, but not the cod liver oil. That wasn't the part of the protocol, but if that works for you, that'd be okay. So everybody sit with your feet flat on the floor, palms face up. And as I say, try to find fermented turmeric. Wisdom tapping. Okay. Okay, and then clearing. Have a great day. Blessings to everyone. Be well, be kind to one another, and check your copper. Have a great day.